Hi, I'm George, a Solutions Consultant at Abacum, and today I'll be showing you how we are automating headcount planning workflows. Firstly, we're bringing in our client's headcount information from the HRIS system, and we have API integrations with a whole bunch of these. And basically, we're going to bring in all the fields that we need as a sort of starting point to calculate out our headcount plan. So these fields may include, for example, the department, the location, and we're going right down into the more granular. So the actual employee name, the role, ID number, how they're comped as well on the variable side. So basically, we then use this information to calculate out the existing employees, and then we add potential changes to those employees plus new employees directly here in the system. So we capture those changes in spaces for each of the different teams. And we'll go and have a look at that now. So I'm going to take us here to a space specifically for the head of sales. So firstly, with the head of sales, we're going to share their budget versus actuals for the year to date, for your estimate and the budget that we've fixed, so we can basically see where we're tracking under and if we're tracking under or over budget. And here we're providing the all-in cost as well. So even though we're planning at maybe the base salary level, or we're just planning at the headcount level and pulling in a pay matrix, we want our budget owners to be aware of the full impact of their decision to hire a new person. How do they actually hire a new person or make request changes? Well, this is in the second step here, and you can see we've given a bunch of instructions as well as a video of how to do it, but it's simply a case of double-clicking in on this input table and then adding a new request or changing the existing request. So maybe we want to change the start date of this person, or we want to add a new request. We can either hit add new row, or we can duplicate the row and put in the relevant information. We can also change things like salaries, termination dates, this kind of thing. And then once we've saved those changes, we're going to push that through, and that's going to push through into the rest of the model, and it will be gated until we move that from requested to accepted. And of course, only people with those accesses are able to do that. So let's go and have a look and see how we actually perform that. Before we go there, let's just talk quickly about permission. So you can permission at the space level in Abacum. You can also permission at the data level, as well as individual sort of models within the system. So we can get pretty enterprise in terms of the permissioning. And not only that, you can also use permissions to drive the workflow. So you'll see that each of these spaces have a status attached to them. It basically means that we can say, let's say Jack is our head of sales here. When it's in no status, that basically means we're preparing it for him, and then when it's in progress, he can edit it, and then he can move it from in progress to review. And each time these statuses change, we're going to have notifications triggered via email or via Slack if you prefer. Okay, so this is a space more for the head of finance or head of HR or maybe whoever's approving these requests. So we can come down here to the approval summary, and we can simply double click into the table. It brings up all of my requests, and I can first just filter here by the requested and then change them to accepted or rejected simply by overriding this. And like I said, once I've moved this to approved, for example, then it's going to flow through to the forecast. If it's rejected, then it's not going to impact my forecast. Also in here, you can see how, for example, Natalie Brown, it's not just a new hire, but Natalie Brown here has had a request for an increase in annual compensation or commissions even. So from 113,000 to 123,000. So this is a typical example of one of those sort of like niggly things which are actually quite hard to reconcile, because we want to plan for her to have this increase, and this is going to come into effect from the 1st of April. We're currently in February. But of course, this is planned in Abacum, but what's going to happen is we're soon going to receive the information from the HRIS in April when this change is actually effected and formalized in the HRIS. And you basically are going to we have to reconcile what's in the plan in Abacum and what's in the HRIS. So let me just take you over to what that reconciliation process looks like. So this is the data that I'm pulling from the HRIS. So I had some data from February, and then I recently just uploaded some data from April. And if we go into the data we're using for the forecast, you can see that in blue, it's the same line as before. It's effectively what we've included here in Abacum as part of the plan. And then you can see the new line that's come in from the HRIS. And basically, Abacum's automatically recognizing that and allowing us to reconcile by simply just deleting out the row. So now it's reconciled, we don't have any double counting. So if you want to see any more on this automated headcount planning, head over to abacum.io to find out more. Thank you.